Well, hello. I'm Santa, or Annual Gift Man, or Father Christmas. I'm called a lot of things. Anyway, I hope you've been good boys or girls, because here is the FM Creator Showcase. Get on with the show.
Well, hello, welcome to the episode 10 of the FM Creator Showcase. Thank you very much, Santa, for introducing that. Happy Christmas to you all, Happy New Year to you all, I think for tomorrow, so it should be New Year's Eve when this comes out eventually. So if you're not familiar with the FM Creator Showcase, where have you been? So essentially it's a place where FM creators can come and show their channel off. And every episode we have two FM creators and they come along and they tell us about their channel, they tell us about their motivations for doing FM on YouTube and kind of what got them into it and who inspires them as well. So it's well worth coming along to check out these creators, and you never know, you might find a new creator that you'd never heard of that you might want to go and check out. And that's the whole point of this. We want you guys to go and check these creators out and go over to their channels, subscribe to their channels and start watching their content. We want to spread the FM love far and wide across YouTube. I think it's quite a good thing, certainly at this time of year. Anyway, so we have two FM creators for you guys today. Dodgee Gamer and FMZ Gaming. Now, I've been aware of Dodgee Gamer for quite some time. He's quite active on Twitter, and I've been very much wanting to get into one of his saves. And actually, quite recently, I've started on his newest save, his Andorra save. I'll let him tell you about that. Really, very much enjoying it. Short, snappy episodes, which I think a lot of creators are starting to go down that route at the minute. But really nice guy. Loves a good pun, as do I, as do all the best people. FMZ Gaming was someone I hadn't really come across before he contacted me about coming onto the showcase. But interestingly, in actually going through his episodes and stuff, I actually found myself, sort of when I'm trying to find clips for the episode, I actually found myself watching outright the first two episodes, which I think is the best compliment possible for anyone. Really enjoyable creator, makes really short, snappy episodes, does it in his own way as well, which is not the sort of thing that other people do. He's kind of does FM in a slightly different way, which, I don't know, it feels more like a blog than an actual FM YouTube video, which is really, really nice. Dead easy to fit into your schedule. I recommend both of these guys an awful lot. Both of them are fairly high up in the hundreds in terms of subscribers, but I really think both of them should be a lot higher up. Anyway, guys, I'm going to let you guys go and watch these fine creators now. Once you've finished watching them, in the description of the video you will find all the links to these channels and any other links that they talk about within their videos. So please go over, check out their content, go and interact on their videos, and come back and let us know what you enjoyed, what you didn't enjoy, all that sort of fun stuff. So without further ado, here is Dodgee Gamer first of all, and then we'll go and see what FMZ Gaming's got to say about himself. See you in a second. Bye-bye.
Well, hello there, everybody. I'm Dodgee Gamer, or you can call me David if you prefer. Thank you, Custard Profit, for having me on this latest episode of the FM Showcase. Very happy to be here. So I'm originally from the UK, but I've spent most of my life, probably more than half my life, living in various countries around the world. I work as an educator. I'm currently back in the UK, hopefully for good. And, I'm a budding YouTuber, been going at YouTube on and off for a couple of years, and now trying to have a serious crack at building my channel up. So, speaking of my channel, it is mainly a Football Manager channel. I do Let's Plays, I kind of vary these a bit. I've had one successful series and then got another one just starting up, focusing on a single club and trying to build that club up to be a force to reckon with within their own particular league. I also enjoy Journeyman saves, and the kind of Journeyman I've ended up putting out on YouTube is the International Manager of Mystery. Bit of a unique one in which I focus pretty much solely on international management, taking over the bottom-ranked playable team in the game and just trying to build up my career, moving from nation to nation and trying to get higher and higher up that world rankings list. We did 2 iterations of that in Football Manager 2018 and Football Manager 2019. Both times we never really got to the great heights of world football, but we did manage to go from managing the likes of Tonga in the first series and East Timor in the second series, winding up at powerhouses like Bahrain, Hong Kong, going via places like Mongolia and Maldives and Bangladesh on the way. So it definitely takes you to some strange places, and I would like to have a good long-term crack at doing that in the future, trying to really get up to a big team. Brings in Riverola, who we've just lined up to be taken off. Martinez gets it now, knocks one in, and it's Akale. Akale gets the goal, puts us 2-1 ahead with 15 minutes to play. Do also have a bit of non-FM content. You'll see up here the Dodgee Retro. That's a series I run playing older games, mainly point-and-click adventures, games from the 90s and early 2000s. I'm currently doing a playthrough series of Broken Sword, although progress is a little bit slow because, FM is just so much fun. So when it comes to Football Manager 2020, for the beta, we did Boca Juniors, the wonderfully named Beta Bocas, which I know Custard Prophet was a big fan of. But moving on from there to the main save. The main save, which has just got underway, is the Andorran Double Challenge. So I've taken over FC Andorra in the Spanish 2nd Division B, and the idea is that we build them up, we take them through the divisions, we make them a big force in Spanish football, and then a side effect of that is going to be building up the club, getting better facilities, better youth recruitment, and building up some Andorran talent, bringing them through the ranks, and then also taking control of the Andorran national team and trying to improve their fortunes, maybe get them to qualify for a tournament. Also experiments. I've got the second iteration of my New Gen Nation experiment, which I do believe I forgot to mention earlier, but never mind. New Gen Nation is basically where I take some of the world's top youth-producing clubs and I transport them to an unheralded nation in the world of football. The effect that has is they stay in their league. So we take Manchester United, for example. They're still in the Premier League, but we transfer them over to this new country. Then the youth players that come through start to come through with the nationality of that country. I don't change anything else. I don't invest loads of money in the country's football infrastructure. I don't up their youth rating or the importance of football. Just I bring in clubs. I bring in clubs with high youth ratings and high youth importance and so on, transport those clubs there, and we try to generate more players for the national team. So the Football Manager 2020 version is taking place in the Cayman Islands, where I've taken clubs such as Manchester United, Barcelona, Ajax, Feyenoord, Benfica, and transported all their facilities over there, and we're going to see if we can take Cayman Islands places. Can we take them to the World Cup? Can we get them to win the North American Gold Cup? We did this previously in Football Manager 2019 with Qatar and UAE. While we did improve the fortunes, we didn't see any massive leaps and bounds, but they did become regular qualifiers for the World Cup and challengers for the Asian Championship. But we'll see how it goes. We've at least got to get off to a good start with the Copa Libertadores. We don't want to put any doubts in the board's mind early on in this career. But here we go. It comes out to Fabra. Knocks in a deep cross to Abila. And yes, De Rossi, the Italian playmaker, has put us 2-0 up. So if you're new to my channel, good question where to start. I would probably say, for the time being, go and start with Beta Bocas. Have a look at my kind of most recent mini-series and see how I play through the game. And then I'd recommend you get stuck into the latest content, because, that's the thing about an annual release like Football Manager. Who wants to go back and watch the old versions? Well, maybe you do, maybe you don't, but I'd get stuck in with the Andorran Double and New Gen Nation, which may only have a couple of episodes out at the moment, but they're going to be good series to follow. As for why I got started with creating videos, well, Football Manager's been a game that I've played for many years. I've played pretty much every year since that time when it transitioned from the kind of whole breakup when it changed from Championship Manager to Football Manager. I picked it up from Championship Manager 4 and then Football Manager 2005 onwards. I've been playing all that time. And since probably Football Manager 2007, I think, I got active on the forums, on the SI forums, and I was joining first the Challenges, Sign-Ups and Experiments forum, and then later the Careers forum. So up until Football Manager 2015, I was always sharing my saves through write-ups there. Then around the tail end of Football Manager 2017, beginning of Football Manager 2018 cycle, I started to follow a few people on YouTube, and then I got thinking, maybe that's something I can try out as well. So specifically, the Content Creators Cup that SI did for Football Manager 2018, that made me realise that it was more than just the 2 or 3 big names out there who were doing this kind of thing on YouTube. And then you know how the YouTube works. It started to snowball from there. Once I started to seek out a few of those guys, YouTube started to recommend other ones to me, and I went down a whole rabbit hole. Lelujo is a classic one to say, but his series of videos on how to get started really had some sage advice on how to get going. But the individual who perhaps helped me out most of all and encouraged me to get going was Grey Hair Gaming. I just commented on one of his videos and said, hey, I really like what you're doing. What tips would you have for someone like me who wants to get started? And he said, I've got loads, and he gave me loads in a massive comment, invited me to join his Discord community, and everything just started from there. So there you go. You can blame Grey Hair Gaming. So the content creators I enjoy watching, well, obviously I've already mentioned one of them, Grey Hair Gaming. Also in Football Manager 2020, Bobby G Gaming, who of course has featured on this showcase previously. Yeah, I think he's really knocking it out of the park, particularly with his Pentagon Challenge. I've really been enjoying that one. And another creator whose videos I have enjoyed, who, as far as I'm aware, hasn't actually released any Football Manager 2020 content yet, but I'm hoping that will change soon, is Billsy TV, whose Wonder Kid Twins experiments kind of inspired me to get going with my own New Gen Nation. So any other business before I go? Well, I suppose I should plug my channel, Dodgee Gamer, and tell you to go there and subscribe immediately. Watch as many videos as you can. Like them all. Comment on them. I do enjoy the comments, so please, please comment. I always appreciate comments and the chance to interact with the community. That's why I do this. That's why I've done the forums in the past. And you can also, of course, follow me on Twitter and join my Discord server, which you'll find links for over on my channel. It's a new way I'm trying to engage the community more with my experiments and with my saves. And the only other thing, I suppose, to mention, perhaps a health hazard warning that should come, is the dad jokes. I do tend to be fond of the odd bad pun or two, all harmlessly intended but groan-worthy at the best of times. Sometimes when I even have far too much time on my hands, I end up with skits which, usually my better half tells me to delete before I upload them, but, every so often one slips through the net. But yeah, basically, I'm one of many in a sea of Football Manager creators out there, but I do try to create interesting long-term saves. I do try to dig a bit deeper into the game with my experiments, so please come, join me, like and subscribe. And finally, thank you very much once again to Custard Prophet for hosting me on the showcase. Gotta say, Custard Prophet, hats off to you. As a relatively new member of the community, I think what you're doing in terms of immediately jumping in, not only promoting yourself, but promoting everybody else at the same time as well, is highly commendable. And that's one thing that's inspiring me to do more of the same. Thank you for watching. Now, as we approach the half-hour mark, De Rossi brings it inside to Marconi. Marconi knocks out wide to Villa, who's cut in. Oh, he just went past. Oh, and he's done it. Oh, I thought a great chance had gone begging. He hit the post, but he picked up the rebound, and we have taken the lead. Sebastian Villa with his 8th goal of the season. He just scored his first ever goal for Colombia in the recent international break.
Hi guys, I'm FMZ, I'm 35 years old and I am from Essex in the UK. So my channel has taken a bit of a change of direction in the last 9 months or so. We predominantly started doing Football Manager videos back in 2016. But recently we've moved into retro games and doing arcade classics. I've got an emulator on my computer and started doing those. Retro games, there's a website you can go to that you can just play games on your computer using a controller. So I've branched out a bit more into that. It's mainly Let's Play series that I've done. I've done one with Fulham. That was my very first one. Birmingham City. Few with Tottenham. A Journeyman last year. Ajax, AC Milan, the European Adventure, which was a great series. But I have done other content. I've done sort of top 5 teams. I'm trying to do some more team guides. More team guides will probably come in the new year as well. Yeah, that's the FM content I create and other content I create for the channel. So the current series I have on the channel, as you can see from the channel art around me, that is Earning My Spurs. It is the current series on the channel with Tottenham Hotspur. After Maurizio Pochettino left, I took over. And to earn my Spurs, really, that's the name of the title. That's where it came from. Obviously, I've sorted out some of the problems we've already got. Like I said, into Ceballos. Aubameyang. They're knocking it around very well, Arsenal. Kolasinac gets it into the middle, Lacazette, and he scored. Future plans, I don't really have much in the pipeline at the minute. There are ideas popping around my head all the time in terms of what to do. I'm hoping to do some more team guides in the new year, as I already mentioned, and maybe some more top 5 videos, but I think I've kind of missed the boat with those. So yeah, the team guides have certainly enjoyed doing those. We've got some requests that have come in that I'll be doing probably in the new year. But if you're new to my content and new to the stuff that I make, I would personally start with An Englishman Abroad. Last year's Journeyman save started with Bromby and it went all round Europe from there, and it was thoroughly enjoyable to do that. If you're going to go back further, bringing back Brum with Birmingham City, that was an interesting ride through the divisions to the Premier League. If you're going to go back further than that, I would probably go back to the European Adventure, because that's something I may potentially go back to myself, because I enjoyed the European Adventure with Ajax. Obviously, they had a great team back then as well, and it was my first proper series, if you like, first proper intros and things like that. So yeah, I'd certainly pick with all them 3. The Tottenham series are always good to have a look at as well. You know, it's my content. I'm always going to say it's great. But yeah, those are the 3 that I would definitely take a look at. What made me start creating videos on YouTube? It's a question I get asked a little bit. I've been playing Football Manager, Championship Manager since about 1994. My friends are not really interested in it. Some of them are, most of them are not. And like anyone who plays a game as vigorously as I do with Football Manager, you want to share that. And I got the opportunity to do that. I looked at a couple of videos of how to set up OBS and how to make that work. Dr. Benji did a really good guide if you want to go back and try and find that, because it's a great guide of how to set up the settings and all that, and you know, webcams and all that business. And that was how I really got into it. The Fulham Factor, which is the first series I ever made on YouTube, it is pony compared to what I make now, but it was a learning curve. It was a steep learning curve, but it was an enjoyable learning curve at that. And yeah, I just wanted to share my experiences of Football Manager, because it's an amazing game. You know, there are no games like this anymore that are ever made. I mean, Championship Manager back in the day when I was a kid, I loved it. When it moved to Football Manager, when we started to get the match engine, the 2D match engine, then the 3D match engine, I just wanted to share my experiences of something that I am vigorously passionate about with all of you. So whose FM content do I watch the most? I try to stick with as many as I can. Obviously, it's difficult when you're making content yourself, but Bood is a good friend of mine, Bood FM, and I try and keep up with his series as much as I can. Obviously, he's moved away from the Let's Plays nowadays, and the rebuilding series is interesting because it's short, it's sharp, and it's good to watch. If you're looking for something to watch, Bood is definitely up there with the best of them, in my opinion. I try and keep up with the FM creators community guys, and as well as the Passion for FM guys as well. Obviously, we watch each other's content. We try and give as much feedback as we can. Generally, that's about it, really. I try and watch a bit of Twitch as well, GW, or Tenacious G, as he's known these days. Fry Badger's a chap I've known for a very, very long time, and I try and keep up with his stuff as well. So, yeah, I try and keep up with as much as I can, but as I say, where I make a lot of content myself, obviously I dabble in other people's content that are not FM creators. The last thing I'd like to mention is that I am part of the FM creators community and the Passion for FM team. We have Discord servers. I'm hoping that Custard Prophet will put the links in the description for them so you can take a look. Come and have a chat with me. I've got my own channels on there where you can see my content. Obviously, you can talk in the general content. There's so many creators out there. We're growing every single year, and it's always good to catch up with other guys that you're talking to and you know, and guys that you don't know. You know, make friends. You know, we're a small community. It's a niche market, this game. So the more people you can get to talk to and the more people you can get involved with. Looking for Lucas Moura. Oh, hang on. Bit of a tap, but nothing given. Winks into Ndombele. Looking for a bit of help. He finds Winks again. Fernandez. Nice ball in behind. Lucas Moura scores. Lovely goal from Lucas. Lovely interchange from Winks and Ndombele, and Tottenham have the lead.
Well, I hope you enjoyed both of those videos. As I said, I thoroughly enjoyed finding the various clips that I used within them. Big thanks to both of those creators for getting involved in this in the Creator Showcase and showcasing what their channels are all about. I'm a fan. I was a fan of Dodgee Gamer already. I'm certainly going to be finishing off watching FMZ's content as well. Two really, really good, slightly smaller creators, but creators who are kind of going in the right direction. I think you'll agree. So please make sure this video is visible on YouTube, and do that by liking this video. If you feel particularly inclined, I would very appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel for more of these videos. We have them every couple of weeks. We also have the FM Creator News, which fills in the other weeks where this isn't, and other FM related content. So you will find some interesting stuff on this channel. But most of all, make sure you go over to these fine creators' channels, watch their content, and subscribe to their channels. Okay guys, I've been the Custard Prophet. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like, subscribe, and all that nonsense. And see you next time for episode 11. Goodbye.